This is called the Breeder's Cup. This is a perfect drink for people who do not like Bloody Marys, don't like tomato, can't get over that, but want that kind of savory note. So this is based on a cocktail called a Gordon's Cup, which is basically muddled cucumber with lime and sugar and gin. It's actually a cocktail that's dumped, you know, kind of like a caipirinha where you shake it and everything is in the tin and you dump everything into it with ice. I don't do that. I actually strain it. But what I do is I use a beet horseradish. Now, there's all different kinds of horseradishes that you can get out there in the supermarket that already have the beets, you know, mixed into the horseradish. What I found though is some of those don't really have the level of spice that I'm looking for. I'm not looking for a huge amount of spice. It's still a balanced cocktail. But horseradish is a root that is very, very, very spicy. It's kind of like a wasabi. And this is something that people have been using on all kinds of things over the years. But what I love is the beet makes a beautiful color in it, but it also adds a little sweetness to soften it. So what I do is I take the whole thing and I'll just dump it in there. Okay. So that just makes it easy. So you're not sitting here trying to measure anything out, because this will last for a while. Once you add the beet juice, it's going to last for a while. This is fresh beet juice. I do have a juicer. Very easy though to go to Whole Foods or any kind of juice bar and just have them juice red beets. I've used yellow beets before. I've used orange beets, so you can actually, you know, change it up. And with this, you got to go slow because a lot goes a long way. So you just put a little bit in like this. What I'll do is I'll pour a little bit, and you can start to see it. And I'll start to mix it around, because what you're trying to do is get it to the point where all the horseradish is pink, that you don't see any white left in it. So we're pretty close to there. I'm going to add just a touch more. And what's great is that also the horseradish absorbs the beet juice as well. So you're not looking for something that's too soupy. And this is exactly how it should look. If you can see that. Got a nice rich, and it's a pink color. Now, the name of this cocktail I call the Breeder's Cup. And it's actually a cocktail that is in my first book, Eat Your Drink. And the name was very simple because it was a Gordon's Cup, and I just did everything like a Gordon's Cup except added beet horseradish. Obviously, Breeder's Cup is a very famous horse race, and that's where the name came from. Basically, what the beet is doing is the beet is actually not just coloring it, but it's actually making it sweeter. So this is a really beautiful, intense, wasabi-like sensation. So what we're going to do, I'm going to put that aside, but as you can see, that is the exact color that you want. And then we're going to start with the tin, okay? And this is an English cucumber. You can use any kind of cucumbers, but I actually like the English cucumbers only because, for the most part, is the skin has a lot of great flavor. So the skin is pretty palatable. We're going to take this amazing knife. This is a knife made by Victorinox. This is like $8 to $10. It's an amazing knife. It's sharp as hell. And it's going to last you a long, long time. But this is actually a knife that a lot of fishermen up in Alaska use. They actually carry it with them if they have to cut line right away, if they're in any kind of situation. It's just a really sharp knife. So what I like about this with the cucumber is I can cut whatever size slices I want. So we're going to make 3 slices, and they're a little bit over. You can kind of picture it, but it's kind of like 1/8 of an inch thick, right? So we'll cut it like that. So there's 3 good slices. Put that in the tin, and then we're going to put 3/4 of an ounce of fresh lime juice, and then 3/4 of an ounce of agave syrup, and then we're going to muddle that in. So again, I love to use this OXO muddler. It has sharp teeth, so I can really, the whole point is that I'm crushing the cucumber and the skins and getting the pulp and the seeds and the juice in there. That's exactly how it should look, okay? It's muddling all together. And then we're going to do a bar spoon of horseradish. And some bar spoons, some are smaller, some are larger, but I'm going to show you kind of what to do. And this also has to do with how much spice. But what I've found is if I just give a little bit of a heaping bar spoon like that and put that in, that's a good amount. Okay, that's going to go a long way. And I just love the color of it. let's grab our gin. We're going to do 2 ounces of gin. And a lot of times, too, in my book, I've actually infused the gin, so you can add another layer. I've infused the gin with stinging nettle. You could put peppers in it. Other things that would really go well. A tomato gin would be good. There's a tomato gin out in the market that would go really well with this. That's not going to necessarily give you this full blast of tomato flavor. So we'll do 2 ounces of that. Okay. And then we're going to shake this up. We're going to use a nice big cube old-fashioned glass here. And I'll do a nice big cube with that. So the whole point of why am I choosing a big cube here, mostly for this purpose, I mean, I'm always concerned about dilution, but now the big cube is actually a beautiful platform for me to rest things on it, okay? So we're going to shake this up. Don't have to worry about double straining. I don't have to use a tea strainer and pull anything out, any particles. Yeah, I can tell just from the color, it's not too much, it's not too little. So it's that beautiful pink, which I love the color. The color is absolutely fantastic. And then what I do is, this is really an appetizer and a drink, or an appetizer and a bite that have to be made together. So it's not something where I'm just putting it on the side. It's actually part of the cocktail. So we're going to open an oyster here. You can use whatever oysters you want. Now here's the good news. You probably, if you went into a Whole Foods or most places, they'll probably shuck them for you if you don't have to worry about shucking or getting a shucker. But I love a fresh oyster. And the whole point of this is you probably could use a nice shrimp, something that really goes almost like with cocktail sauce is what you're thinking of. So this oyster, the whole point of this, I'm going to take white borage flowers. So there's actually 2 varieties of borage. Borage is an invasive plant that's indigenous to England. And it actually has the flavor, if you taste it, of an oyster and a cucumber combined. So my choice with this is I'm playing on the cucumber and I'm playing on the oyster right in the flavor of the flower. So I'm going to put that around. This is going to be like a nice little bed around. And then the most important thing when you are shucking the oyster, make sure to scrape it underneath so the whole oyster can slide off, okay? And then we'll place that right on top. And you can see it's a nice little platform, but then you can use different flowers to go around it. And what I love is the color of the white against the pink as well. So there you go. I'm going to put a little bit of fresh lemon juice on there, because you don't really need to doctor up the oyster very much. All that flavor is coming from the drink. So we'll just cut this a little bit. And there you go. There you go. This is called the Breeder's Cup. It's gin, cucumber, beet horseradish, a little bit of lime and agave. So I'm going to do this right where I take the oyster and then I drink the drink. I can't emphasize enough how much the oyster or the shrimp is part of the cocktail. It goes so well together, especially keeping the shellfish plain like that. It's excellent. It's got the right spiciness, it's savory, and it doesn't have the tomato if you're someone who does not like tomato. And there you go. That's the Breeder's Cup. Cheers.